This is Nash Gruner, the son of Olivia Gruner, and you are listening to the UCW radio show, In Your Face.
The number you have reached, 911, has been changed to a non-published number.
You're listening to UCW Radio.
In your face.
Give it to me, baby.
All right, we're here at the Urban Action Showcase, Times Square, New York City. This is the heart of the world right here. And we're here with one of the great grandmasters. He doesn't want me to say it, but one of the great grandmasters, Dennis Brown. Dennis, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Glad to be here.
Yeah, well, you've been involved in martial arts for a long time. Not as just being involved in it. You've been a leader for a long time.
Well, I started in 1964. Never thought I would be doing it this long, but I found it was something I was good at. So I've been blessed.
And you've competed or trained side by side with some of the greatest of all time.
I've been fortunate. You know, I've got a chance to do film. I've got a chance to do documentaries. I've done movies, TV, competition, and now I'm a promoter. So, yeah, I've had seen some of the greats come and go over the last 51 years that I've been doing this.
And how do you feel about the state of martial arts today?
Well, you know, I'm a martial artist, and so I'm about the art form of it, and I'm not sure that I'm into just the straight fighting, and I enjoy watching it just like I enjoy watching boxing and UFC and all like that, but I'm still serious about the art part of martial arts. I want to make sure that the values of the art are still here when we're gone.
The tradition and...
Traditionalist, you know, and that is what I am. I competed in fighting. I did forms, I did weapons, and some of the stuff they said, well, you walk around with a broadsword, you still teaching spears and all like that. What good is that in today's world? Well, it's a part of the art. It's a part of the history. It's a part of tradition, and tradition does mean something.
Well, it's not about utilizing it anywhere. It's about creating a discipline for yourself, but not losing that lineage, not losing that tradition, not losing the path that was made. You could change things, but it's about keeping some things alive because it's important.
Well, I think that the art is always going to be here. I tell people it's kind of funny because I was real young in the 50s. I was a little kid, but I do remember that everything in martial arts was judo. And I don't know if people remember that. I don't care whether you threw a kick or punch, it was judo. By the
Gene Bell and
by the 60s, June Reese showed up in America, and it was Taekwondo. If you couldn't kick straight up, nobody cared. Nobody cared whether it was straight up kicks you're going to kick anybody up there, but it was the art. In the 70s, we took over. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Curtis Mayfield was singing it. Carradine was walking it, and Bruce Lee was doing it. We thought that's all it's ever going to be. Why would you study anything else? Until the 80s came along and somebody said ninjutsu. And then it was American Ninja, right? I mean, it was Ninja Turtles, American Ninja. Why would you even bother to study martial arts when you can just pull out an ink pen and stick him and he's gone? But who knew about the 90s? It was what? Taibo? Was everybody Taibo?
Billy Blanks,
and kickboxing, and we thought, forget all that, just stay in shape. And then, of course, in the 2000s, I think it probably became Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and we thought, why would you study anything else? Because that's the ultimate system. And now it's MMA. So I've seen the art change, systems change and change and change, but it's important that the art of martial arts stays relevant to everybody.
And have you noticed that with the UFC, when Ron Van Cleef, and I'm giving you props, Ron Van Cleef, when he competed in the first UFC, from that time with Dan Severn and everything, it went from no holds barred fighting. Yeah. Where now with Dana White, what he's doing, and Dana, you're doing a fantastic job. The fighters now are martial artists.
Exactly right. You've seen it. It always evolves, but it always goes back to traditional martial arts because people like technique. And it's like what Bruce Lee did. Eventually he brought everything together that he had studied, his boxing, his kung fu, his karate, if you will. But I think it's important that we do that.
History repeats itself.
It does. And if you're going to stay relevant, you have to continue to study. Somebody asked me, said, in that little every decade thing, your name, and what do you think is going to be next? I said, it's a big surprise. Have you seen yoga? Think about Tai Chi. Think about internal arts. Probably don't be surprised if 10 years from now, this next generation, because every next group of kids coming up wants their own thing, all of a sudden they're internal. Everything is deep because you guys we're all blood and guts, and now we're going to do a completely 360 on you.
It's just interesting how things evolve, and then they they change, but they wind up being the same.
And they never go away. I mean, there's still Taekwondo. There's still Judo is big. Kung Fu is still big. Every Brazilian just still a bad sport. I'm not saying they ever disappear, but I think that we keep evolving. And I think it's kind of like the next generation of kids. They don't want to wear what their dad wore. They don't want to use the slang. Dig it is not around anymore. And so right now they're looking for something 10 years from now that they can say is our martial arts.
They're looking for their own thing.
They're looking for their own thing. And if you're going to stay relevant, you kind of learn to appreciate that art, and you evolve with it.
And I think that's fantastic. That's the best way of putting it. Now, Dennis, we're here at the Urban Action Showcase. Tell us what you think.
I think this is amazing. I didn't make it last year, but that year before that, I helped them promote it at the U.S. Capitol Classics. All the guys came down. We talked about it my first year here, but I think it's something that's really needed because you have this generation next that's coming up that's looking for a way to break into film and combine that with their art, whatever that art may be, but they don't know where to go. And this provides an avenue. It provides something that they can step into. And they can reach out. There's somebody reaching out and saying, here's a chance for you to make it. You can't go to Hollywood today. There's too many people have moved to L.A. It's packed. They're looking for a venue or an avenue to give them a chance to break in. I think this may be it.
LA is not the capital of film. Sorry, guys. But for years, LA, you got the roads paved with the carcasses of people that went there to become actors. It didn't work out.
There's too many of them. It's like right now, it's like taking sand to the beach. There, say I'm a martial artist. I want to go out there and become a champion. There's a lot of guys out there, but I think this type of thing in New York, you can move it to LA. You can take it to Chicago. You can have these tryouts all over the country, and it's a new way to discover folks. And they feel like, again, I have a way to be discovered. America's Got Talent, if you will, through martial arts. So I think it's great.
And talking about talent, why don't you give the website with what you promote? Because I think anyone out there that wants to see true competition should go to one of your events.
Well, they should come out to U.S. Capitol Classics. That's the website, www.US Capitol, capital with an O, so they'll know it's the capital city, D.C., not just any capital. And we get a chance to see some of the best of the best. I mean, everybody from Billy Blanks to the Ninja Turtles to the Power Rangers to everybody out there in the movies doing stuff now at some point came through those type of tournaments because at that time that was the only place to be seen. They didn't have the action film festival to go to, and it still acts as a venue where people can come to, can be showcase their skills, whether it's weapons or acting or fighting, and I still think it's one of the best ways to be discovered.
I think that's fantastic. Check out U.S. Capitol Classics with an O. Check it out. Check out the events. Check out what's going on. And find out more about Grandmaster Dennis Brown. He is one of the best in, and I'm going to call it industry, in the martial arts industry, because if you want a true leader, someone to look up to, someone to be inspired by, this is the guy. Dennis, thank you.
Thank you so much, my friend. All right.